Okay, so Shulk versus R.O.B. It's an interesting matchup. This is pretty dynamic depending on where it goes. R.O.B. usually has the advantage. When R.O.B. is at faraway range, let me set it to control. R.O.B.'s got some beautiful skills. He's got his top, he's got his laser, and he can just keep camping forever. He can grab the top, move around. I'm bad at R.O.B. He can grab the top, move around, keep it, throw it at you whenever you try to approach, shoot more lasers, and Shulk dies. That's not fun. That's the same with almost any character, of course. This isn't limited to Shulk, but Shulk doesn't have any projectiles, so he can't really even try to contest this. At close range, R.O.B. gets some beautiful setups, such as the infamous beat boop. It's not fun. And he can do this in almost every percentage. And he can kill with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you with the beep boop.
Yeah, there's the beep boop right there. It's no fun. Now, at high percentage, R.O.B. can kill very easily with this, especially on a fresh stock. I'm going to do this here in training mode because there's no rage. But let's say even at like 90%, where normally this combo would stop if R.O.B. has much rage, he can get it. It's very difficult to escape, and if you get hit, you're dead. Let me reset the percentage. If you get hit at this percentage, you're gonna die.
Well,
anyways,
I didn't get you with all the hits.
Yeah, you have to double jump in order to make it work. Anyways. So, also, if R.O.B. Give me the controller.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
I footstooled you.
R.O.B. has this attack here. This is a great get off.
What is that, down smash?
Yeah, this is down smash. And a lot of R.O.B.s, they like to block attacks or power shield and then buffer a down smash. And since Shulk's attacks sometimes land kind of slowly, he can very easily just do this before you even have time to react. Because this attack comes out really quickly. So you got these dynamics where you can't really get too close to R.O.B., or he's going to grab you or do that, and you can't really get that far away or else he's going to zone you. So what you want to do in order to play the matchup well is you want to play the mid-range. Shulk has a lot of range with his sword, and you need to absolutely use that. Stop it. You need to absolutely abuse that. You got all these attacks that you can throw out right in front of R.O.B.'s face, where if he tries to grab you, he won't be able to. If he tries to zone you with forward air, you're going to be just out of his reach, and he'll be extending his hurt box, so you can just get the attack. So for the most part, you're going to want to get close to him and prevent him from getting too close or too far away. So you want to constantly stay right outside his range. You're going to play this matchup a bit like Mark does. Now,
No! I'm dead.
other things to look out for in this matchup. Let me see what we got with R.O.B. Okay, this is something very important that a lot of people don't know. I have to put him back on control. R.O.B.'s top. Or gyro, whatever you want to call it. This thing will always send your opponent in the way that the top that you were facing before you threw it on the top. So if you throw it down, it's going to shoot your opponent forward. If you're facing away, it's going to shoot him that way. So what a lot of R.O.B. players like to do is they like to, right when you're about to get up from the ledge, they jump up here, throw down the top, and then, wow, I'm bad. They jump up here, facing away from the ledge, they throw down the top, and then charge up smash. And what ends up happening is, if you stay on the ledge, you get hit by the top. If you try jumping up, you get hit by the top and knocked into the up smash. If you try rolling, you roll into the up smash. If you neutral get up, you get hit by the top and get knocked into the up smash. There's like nothing you can really do. So what you got to do in that situation is, as Shulk, or as any character really, you jump up and you attack like that. Because when you do this, you will catch top and forward air at the same time, which will make it so you will not get hit, and you'll survive and you'll have a good time. That's one setup that you really need to look out for, and you'll see people like 8-Bit Man constantly doing really silly things with the top, and just throwing it out and waiting for people to run into it. R.O.B. kills really well off the top. You don't want to take up the stages where you can kill really easily off the top. Dreamland is R.O.B.'s home. And actually, there's something specific about Dreamland that you guys are going to need to see. I actually have to switch to the stage for this one, because this is very important and it's going to catch you off guard if you're not aware that this is a thing. This is something that I used to do a lot as Charizard in Project M, but R.O.B is now the character that has access to this. When the wind blows on this stage, if R.O.B is on the ledge, and he grabs you and up throws, he will get pushed off the ledge and both of you will die. If R.O.B is ahead of you in stocks and he gets you with this, he wins. Otherwise, he loses. He will always die first. But this, you have to pay attention to this. And actually, some rulings, if they count that as a suicide move, which I'm pretty sure it is, under the rulings, then R.O.B wins, regardless if you're tied. But, I mean, some characters can jump out of it, so I would personally vote it as a no. Anyways, let me see, what else in terms of this matchup? Forward air is a very fast attack that R.O.B likes to zone with, and it has a decent amount of range. So you'll want to respect that. You obviously outrange it, and I'm pretty sure when he does this, he throws out a hurt box. So you'll be able to hit his forward air out, if I'm right. I'm not sure, I'd have to test that later. Neutral air is an interesting attack, because it starts out very slowly, but has pretty much no landing lag. Well, it has landing lag, it's just, it auto-cancels. So a lot of R.O.Bs will use this to zone. However, if you pay attention, it has a really long startup animation. So if you are constantly looking out for the Nair, you should be able to counter on reaction to the Nair. So you're sitting here, R.O.B goes for this thing. It's a very, very obvious action. Even though it looks kind of like his normal habit, he puts out his burners right in front. It's a very distinct appearance. In terms of dealing with this attack, I mean, it's very obvious to know when it's happening. It has a lot of range, it has a lot of hurt boxes which won't spike. It's just pretty easy to avoid so long as you avoid putting yourself in a position where you'll get dumped. It has a lot of range, so sometimes it'll send you forward and you'll die anyways. In terms of its properties, no, it's not. I don't think it's. I mean, it's kind of similar, I'd imagine. It knocks people forward, and he can kind of string off of it, but you can very easily escape. I wouldn't say it's like Shulk's. It does cover a similar range, but it's more of a get-off-me move, because R.O.B's aerial mobility is really slow. He can't combo off of the Nair very effectively. He can potentially get, like, Nair to fair, but you can usually just DI away from that. Meanwhile, with Shulk stuff, you cannot DI away from Shulk's Nair combos. So it's nothing you should be too scared of. It's just once he hits you with it, he resets to neutral. And once you're in neutral, you're far away from him, and he can start throwing stuff at you again. So you don't want that to happen. So, let me see what else. This attack. There were a couple of videos that were put out on ways to properly DI this attack. And I think the consensus was that when you get caught in R.O.B's up air, the ideal is to DI to the opposite side. So if you get caught in the front of R.O.B's up air, you'll want to DI behind R.O.B. If you get caught in the back, you'll want to DI in front. I'm not entirely sure though. Feel free to correct me on that. Feel free to go ahead and watch your own videos on that. I'm not sure if there's anything else specifically to cover except that R.O.B's up throw can go up the platforms and kill you like that. So you'll want to watch out for that. R.O.B's down tilt, kind of hard to get out of. It's not too bad though. Just smash the eye, escape it, don't get grabbed. I'll just edit this whole part out. Anyways, moving on. What else in R.O.B's kit is important to discuss? Back air shoots him forward. That doesn't really need much explanation. It's really powerful. Don't get hit by it. It has a really long startup, so you should be able to watch out for it. R.O.B A lot of R.O.B players will do this as a trap when you try to edgeguard them. And a lot of people will fall into it. Don't fall into this. This is very obvious. It will kill you really early, so stop getting caught by it. At around 110%, you'll probably die in this. Let's see what else. Can't really think of too much more. Okay, the last thing. Edge guarding R.O.B. His up B has a limited amount of ammo. And when he hits on the ground, it starts refreshing itself. This is pretty common knowledge. However, what you need to know is that, hey, can I use your help for this? Alright. So what I want you to do is I want you to float like right next to the ledge with your up B. Like off the ledge. Okay, so if R.O.B is constantly hit while he's off the stage, he will not be able to snap to the ledge. And eventually he'll run out of ammo. So if you can just zone him off of the ledge, either with forward air or offstage nair, or jabbing, or air slash, or killing yourself, eventually you'll be able to just let him die on his own. Also, grabbing the ledge does not reset this, so if you trump him, you get more chances to edgeguard him using this strategy. One thing that I see a lot of characters doing is like either go for an offstage dunk or just jabbing repeatedly at the ledge or using down tilts to scoop him, you know, things like that. Just keep him zoned from the ledge and he will not be able to grab the ledge. I'm sorry that I'm really bad right now, but hopefully you guys get the idea. But yeah, in terms of approaching the matchup, I'd say that almost all of Shulk's arts are useful in this matchup. One thing that you will need to keep in mind is that speed is probably going to be less useful in this matchup than most others. Because if you approach head-on to R.O.B, your attacks will do less shield damage. So it'll be very easy for R.O.B to shield against your attacks. Shield against your attacks, and just shield grab you. If you're in speed art. I'm not in speed art right now. So yeah, he can very easily just block, down throw, and then beat boot from there. So speed art, you want to be careful. Also, using speed art makes it so that using speed art puts you in R.O.B's line of fire. So you won't be able to jump very high, you won't be able to evade projectiles, etc. If R.O.B throws gyro at you, if you shield the gyro, it will disappear. That's not what you want, because immediately when it disappears, R.O.B is able to throw it again. What you want to do is you want to grab the gyro or dodge it, preferably grab it, and when you grab the gyro, let it sit on the ground. One way to grab it that I use a lot is I jump next to the gyro and I press Z. You could also air dodge the gyro or just run through a dash attack, or even like jump down and nair it. Now when you're holding the gyro, he can't spawn anymore. If you throw the gyro up in the sky, he still can't spawn anymore, and you have full control of where it's going to land. You force him pretty much to approach you if he wants the gyro. And from there you can just do crazy things. You can drop the gyro and nair at the same time in order to keep the gyro in your hand and still use aerial attacks. You can just keep grabbing the gyro, keep using it against him, and it won't disappear until you let it sit on the ground for a while, or until it hits his shield, or until he steals it back. So yeah, just jump up, take it. Also, there's another thing that Shulk is able to do with the gyro. I don't know if I'll be able to get it in one try, but here goes. No, I didn't get it. Okay. Here, let me spawn a fairy bottle, because it's a lot easier to work with than the gyro, which will just keep disappearing. Okay, so this is something you can do with every single item. If you're using A/B smash, you can run forward, press A to throw the item. Let me slow down the game to make it more clear. Run forward, press A to throw the item, angle the stick upwards and diagonally, and then press B. And what will happen is you'll input the item throw twice. So you'll cancel the item toss into another item toss, which will give you a ridiculous amount of momentum. You have to do this within 5 frames in order for it to work. It's something you'll definitely have to go into training mode. And if you do this, you can attack out of it. So that means you can toss the gyro at R.O.B and attack. There's something you can also do against Diddy Kong, against Mega Man, against any character that throws items at you. On top of that, you could also just jump castle item toss and get a decent amount of distance with it. But it's not. The other ones work out good sometimes. For the most part, most of the damage you'll be able to do is most of the damage that I succeed in doing against R.O.B with gyro is just Z dropping and throwing out areas and just keeping control of it like that. And if R.O.B doesn't have gyro, he loses a very important part of the zoning game, which means staying a little farther away becomes a lot safer. Lasers are very predictable. When R.O.B shoots a laser, he rears backwards. So you should be able to shield it on reaction. If you keep an eye on him. You have to keep an eye on R.O.B the entire matchup to know what he's going to do in advance. Yeah, another way to do the thing that I was showing, the item toss, cancel item toss, is to just run and then press immediately up on the C stick. However, if you do that, you can't throw it forward, and it forces you to use smash stick. I personally use tilt stick, so I had to learn it the other way. And it's hard. It's not easy, but it's rewarding. And it's stylish too. But yeah, if there's anything else that you guys are wondering, feel free to ask. I think that pretty much covers everything in the matchup, more or less. There's a bunch of little intricacies here. Oh wait, no, I need to discuss the other arts. Okay, so jump art, even though it's risky to approach with, it's very useful because it allows you to completely bypass every single one of R.O.B's zoning game things. It makes you live longer against up air setups, though at the same time it makes it so it's easier for you to get caught in those up air setups. And yeah, you can just jump in, approach, hit people, get more reward off your attacks. You won't get shield grabbed as easily. You slide, making it harder for them to catch you. Buster is good if you're at close range. It's bad if you're being comboed. So the second you get caught in anything, like the second R.O.B grabs you, you're going to want to deactivate that art and switch out. Another thing for you to keep in mind is that when R.O.B grabs you, it's almost never a good idea to air dodge. Because at percents where you can escape from it, you can just jump away. If you air dodge though, R.O.B might be able to delay the second thing. Like, hold on, I'm going to air dodge, and you're going to wait for the air dodge, and then you're going to get me anyways. He didn't time to like right there, he would have killed me. If I had just jumped away, I would have lived. The gyro edge guard with up smash cover to roll is something I've already discussed. I'll discuss that after I'm done with everything else, because that's going to be in the recording anyways. In terms of laser dodges, I just finished saying that just keep an eye on R.O.B. You should be able to dodge the laser on reaction, because he has an animation that he goes through right when he's going to throw the laser.
On the other side of the screen so you can see.
Right when he rears back. Every single time he rears back, he's going to throw the laser. So, even from the other side of the screen, you should be able to tell. Just so long as you're paying attention to R.O.B, pay attention to the flash. It's very easy to tell when he's going to do it because his eyes will flash red very, very distinctly. I was looking over the screen. it is fast, and sometimes you will get hit anyways. But just keep that in mind. Play quick draw with Rob's eyes, and you should be fine for the most part. Try not to throw out aerials needlessly, or else you'll be able to be caught with laser, and you won't be able to dodge. Especially with Shulk's long startup and long animations for his attacks, it's very hard for him to stop doing what he's doing once he commits to an action. In terms of side B is not a very good move. You can usually just DI up and out of it, and almost never get hit. Especially if he catches you from underneath. And you'll be able to avoid very easily. Or alternatively, you can just shield it. And then just punish him. And it's fun times. In terms of combos and strings on R.O.B, R.O.B doesn't have many get off the options. So if you're able to just stay on him, there's very little that you're going to be able to do. The best options that he has in terms of that are forward air, down smash, and that's about it. Never comes out too slowly for him to contest anything. Long dare active hitbox is something to keep in mind. Try not to recover from below. Woo! Help it at all. You'll want to recover from high. You'll want to keep in mind that he wants to go from there. Conserve your double jump for sure. You're going to need to air dodge through him. Sometimes you'll be able to get away with just jumping up and using up air. But if you get dared, even at low percent, you're probably going to die. Don't let it happen. If you can zone him or stay out of range, using air slash and delaying the second slash to recover from various distances, you'll be able to survive often in times where you will die. This is especially possible in jump art and speed art, because you're able to gain a lot of distance by delaying the second slash. So long as you don't delay too long and die like I just did. Oh! For R.O.B's up air. For R.O.B's up air, what you're going to want to do is usually just... I believe that it's DI the opposite direction. You saw right there what happened was I got hit on R.O.B's left side and I got sent to the right side. So the best way to DI would be away from R.O.B downwards on the opposite side if you get hit, because you will get dragged to the other side. If you smash the eye, you might be able to escape as well. Sometimes, especially if R.O.B like forces himself to move. One thing to really keep in mind, though, when you're being down throw, is that R.O.B cannot cover both things at once. He has to commit to a certain coverage. So if he reads the eye forward, then he's going to go for the forward read. And if you go forward, you won't be able to escape. But what you need to do in order to escape this is recognize that it's a bit of a 50-50 setup. If you DI the same way every single time, R.O.B is going to catch you every single time. But if you mix up the DI, it's a lot easier for you to escape. Also, if you notice there, I survived longer because jump art makes it so I fall faster. Anyways, yeah, that's enough of this. Let me yes, if you get hit from the left, DI to the right, and you should survive. Down and to the right would probably be the best, because it does have a bit of horizontal knockback to it, so you can slightly influence it by pressing down. But it depends on how close you are to the blast zones on the left and right side.